Washington calls on Venezuela's interim president to cooperate, warns of force if she refuses. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Wednesday he hopes for cooperation with Venezuela after the United States ousted its president Nicolás Maduro and anticipated that the U.S. embassy would reopen soon. However, he warned that force could be used if the interim president refuses to cooperate with Washington.
The complexities of it going into it. And I recognize that it won't be easy. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we are dealing with people over there that have spent most of their lives living in a gangster paradise. So it's not going to be like from one day to the next, we're going to have this thing turn around overnight. But I think we're making good and decent progress. It is the best plan, and we are certainly better off today in Venezuela than we were 4 weeks ago. And I think and hope and expect that we'll be better off in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months than we would have been had Maduro still been there.
In a prepared written statement submitted to the U.S. Senate, Rubio said that Delcy Rodriguez, who had served as vice president and has become interim president, is fully aware of Maduro's fate. In the statement, Rubio said, "Let no one be mistaken. We are prepared, as the president has said, to use force to ensure the highest degree of cooperation if other means fail."
We just want it to be a normal, prosperous country again, not a playground for Iran, Russia, and China in our own hemisphere. And we're going to try to help them get that because we think it serves our national interest. That will require actions on our part, not money, but ultimately that will require them. This is ultimately going to be on the Venezuelan people and Venezuelan society and Venezuelan leaders to make this happen. We're going to be there to help and assist and create the parameters for it, and we feel like we're making really good progress. If we make as much progress over the next 4 weeks as we've made in the last 3.5 weeks, I'll feel very good about that.
Speaking before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Rubio added, "I can assure you now with complete certainty that we are not in a position that requires us to take any military action in Venezuela."
No, you're wrong in your question. Number one, Venezuela is a major source, and the reason why is the following. And I've seen a lot of this reporting, and it's fake reporting, and I'll tell you why. It says that somehow Venezuela is not involved in the drug trade because the UN says they're not involved in the drug trade. I don't care what the UN says. The UN doesn't know what they're talking about. Maduro is indicted by a grand jury in the Southern District of New York. That means the Southern District of New York presented the evidence to a grand jury, and a grand jury indicted him. And then a superseding indictment came out that was unsealed about 1.5 years ago that specifically detailed Maduro's act.
Rubio stressed that the United States wants democratic elections in Venezuela, but did not specify a timeline, saying only that we need to have made significant progress within 3 months. Trump urged Venezuela, which holds the world's largest proven reserves of crude oil, to cooperate with U.S. oil companies.
The authorities there deserve some credit. They have passed a new hydrocarbon law that basically eradicates many of the Chavez-era restrictions on private investment in the oil industry.
U.S. Special Forces carried out a swift operation in Caracas on January 3rd, arresting Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Maduro and his wife were taken to New York to stand trial before U.S. courts on charges including drug trafficking.
A written statement, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes. And
all right, here we go. Suspend. You know the drill. Off to jail.
That's a war crime.
That's a 1-year ban from the committee. Anyone who is a persistent violator will be banned for 3 years. So,
hours after Maduro's ouster, Trump hinted that he preferred to work by applying pressure on Rodriguez rather than seeking to bring the Democratic opposition to power, describing its leader Maria Corina Machado as a very nice woman but lacking the gravitas needed to lead Venezuela.